we all got our own side. The shit start falling apart. I feel like when we start going on, we start getting booked for shows and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was like
together.
Yeah, we all started getting booked together, and ego played a big role in it. Certain people, include myself, certain people felt like they should go last, or certain people wanted more money, and one of those. I ain't gonna say too much, but
what's the relationship with Quan, with Rich Homie?
No, we don't have no problem.
Okay.
Like
that I don't know, because we do have a lot of unreached. We do have a lot of music that hasn't been released, but who knows what the future holds. First and foremost, let's free Thugger, let's free anybody locked up, let's free Lou Wop, Lucci.
Young Thug just said what everybody else was too scared to. According to him, Rich Homie Quan's death was more of a setup than tragedy. And now he's pointing fingers, dropping clues, and making it real clear that somebody wanted Quan gone. And they made sure it happened. Now, fans are revisiting everything. The beefs, the silence, the timing, and it's all starting to look a little too perfect to be coincidence. Now, before we go any further, let's rewind real quick. So, back on September 2024, Rich Homie Quan was found dead by his girlfriend, Amber Williams, and according to her, he was foaming at the mouth. She called 911 immediately.
Sleep on the couch since this morning. Well, he never came to bed last night. Sleep on the couch. I left him on the couch before I took my son to school this morning, put a blanket over him. And now I just checked on him again because he never got up. I don't feel a heartbeat. I don't see him breathing.
Now, the official story, they slapped the accidental overdose tag on it. Said it was a lethal combo of fentanyl, codeine, promethazine, and THC. Basically, the usual stuff they pin on a rapper when they don't want to dig deeper. So it was ruled a drug overdose, case closed. But not everybody was buying that story. The moment that news hit the internet, fans started raising eyebrows. Folks were like, Quan was getting clean, wasn't he? Others were saying it didn't sit right, that the whole thing smelled like a setup. And once again, like clockwork, Young Thug's name got tossed right into the fire. Comments like Thug had Quan knocked off because Quan was trying to make a comeback while Thug locked up started flooding everywhere. Now, as y'all know, there's always been tension between Thug and Quan. They had a history, real brotherly history, but also some beef. So after Quan's death, rumors filled the air about Thug putting a hit on Quan. Some folks say it was jealousy that Quan had a real father figure growing up, something a lot of YSL dudes ain't had. Plus, there were rumors that YSL once Quan's dad's barbershop, but now Young Thug is speaking up, clearing the air, said they didn't hate each other. Yeah, they had their fallout, but there was always respect underneath it. In a recent interview, Thug addressed their relationship and how they grew apart. Said what broke them up wasn't no personal drama, it was the industry. Yeah, industry politics, power moves, puppet strings are being pulled from the top. Word is, Thug and Quan didn't walk away from each other. They were pushed. Insiders say there were some real high up folks pulling the strings. And now, Birdman's name is getting tossed into the mix. Quan even admitted that he met Birdman through Thug.
And so would you say that during that time period, you and Thug were really like close friends, or was it just like a convenient musical relationship and Birdman was really the thing that was keeping y'all together?
No, that was my dog. That was my dog.
Right.
Definitely my dog. Birdman wouldn't keep me together. I met Bird through Thug.
Right.
I wouldn't have met Bird if it wasn't for Thug. You know what I mean?
Right.
But allegedly, Birdman saw that the duo was growing too powerful. He tore it apart, and it gets deeper. Word on the street is, Quan didn't even want to split. He saw Thug as family, but Birdman allegedly pressured him by allegedly going after the one thing Quan loved, his father. Still, even after the fallout, there was always that mutual respect. You could feel it. Anytime either of them mentioned the other, it wasn't hate, it was just that unspoken, damn, we could have been legends together kind of energy, and fans never let that memory die either. One user wrote, Thug loved Quan and Woody. They care about each other than to hurt each other. And remember that courtroom moment when Thug heard about Quan's death? Dude went cold. Witnesses said his whole face changed. Said he looked like someone just snatched his soul. You don't act like that over someone you hate. That pain was real. It was brother level pain. And here's where it starts to get real sketchy. Rumors have been swirling that Quan and Thug were cooking up a reunion. Quan even hinted in one of his last interviews that they had unreleased tracks together. Said they had been talking, reconnecting, plotting something for the fans.
That I don't know, because we do have a lot of unreached. We do have a lot of music that hasn't been released, but who knows what the future holds. First and foremost, let's free Thugger, let's free anybody locked up, let's free Lou Wop, Lucci.
And then, boom, Quan drops dead. Let's call it what it is. That's suspicious as hell. Fans started asking, did someone fear their reunion? Was the reunion motivation to silence him? Now, Thug is saying some things don't add up, because Quan was off the clean, focused. So for him to suddenly leave like that, something felt off. He said Quan might have been set up with something laced. Now remember, Quan's brother told the press he was found on the floor with food in his mouth. So if this is true, could that food have been allegedly laced with something, maybe poison? And fans started looking sideways at Amber Williams, his girl. She found him, called 911, and then suddenly went radio silent. Told everyone she wanted privacy for her and the kids. Respectable move? Maybe, but people in the streets ain't buying that silence. They're saying, what if she lined him up? What if she was used as the inside plug, gave access to the enemies, or maybe even served him that poison plate, allegedly? Folks online been digging, and Amber been real quiet, just straight ghost. Now, not everyone's buying the foul play angle. Some folks point to Quan's past health issues, like seizures. They're saying maybe it was natural, maybe his body just gave out. But the fans, they're not letting it go that easy. The streets are still buzzing, divided between the he overdosed crowd and the ones screaming setup. But either way, the energy's shifted. The spotlight is back on YSL, the industry, and everyone in between. And if what Thug is saying holds weight, if powerful figures really did break them up and pressure Quan through his family, then maybe his death might have been the final chapter in a long game of manipulation and silence. So was Rich Homie Quan's death really just an accident, or was it a calculated hit? Did someone have something to gain by silencing him? Let us know what you think in the comments and keep it locked, because this drama is far from over. And if you thought this was wild, click the next video to dive even deeper.